guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be testing out the Charlotte Tilbury makeup brand. It is very luxurious, very high-end, very expensive, very beautiful, very classic makeup brand. As I ordered a few things from there recently, I thought I'd give you a whole lowdown, whole face full of all of their products, using some of the samples that I got with my purchases and some of the full-size products that I have in my collection. So let's see if it's worth your money. Okay, so I always buy everything direct from the Charlotte Tilbury website because you get phenomenal amount of samples and beautiful packaging. So I'm just going to show you the packaging that my palette came in and everything. So I've just literally opened this now. So this is like the outer box, and you can see she's got like the advert for her contour and highlight ones, and then inside you can see this gorgeous envelope which has like her little seal on it, and in there is just like your invoice and also usually, let's just see, yeah, some sort of lip samples. So I've got these two little lip samples here, and what else? A little card about her contour and highlight ones, invoice, and then my other samples which I was able to choose for this order. So this is the concealer that we're going to be using and the Light Wonder foundation that we're going to be using, and you get to choose your shades in those. So you can choose either of her foundations, you can choose a primer sample, you can choose the concealer samples, and you always get to choose your shades in those types of products, which I think is amazing. So then you have like this gorgeous tissue paper with her little stamp sticker just here, and inside of there is your products all beautifully taken care of. And I also got the Legendary Lashes sample, which is like a special at the moment, that if you order, I think it's for the month of September, you get a trial like sample size of her mascara and also a little sample of her perfume. So a lot of samples. So you get to choose two, and then there were the sort of like basic ones that you always get, which is the sample, the mascara, and the lip sticker things. So those are like how many samples that you get with one standard order. And then this is the palette which I actually ordered. So this is the Beauty Glow palette, which has your eyeshadows, bronzer, highlighter, and 2 blushes. So this is what I actually ordered. Packaging is just so classic, so beautiful, so luxurious. You definitely get what you pay for with Charlotte Tilbury, like especially when it comes to packaging, samples, customer service. Like literally this all came in 2 days, and that was the free delivery option, so fair play. Okay, so this is the palette which I'm going to start off with my eyes. So inside you get a really good size mirror. Like the reason I bought this palette, because I just thought this is amazing for travel. You've got literally everything that you need in one really nice sized palette with a really nice sized mirror. So you've got your eyeshadows, bronzer, highlight, and 2 sort of cheek shades. So Charlotte Tilbury's bronzer is really nicely cool tone, so you can actually use that kind of as a sort of contour shade, contour slash bronzer if you like as well. So get this palette in 3 different shades. So there is one with more pinkies and one that's more of like a daytime, so you can choose kind of which you prefer, but I just feel like this would be really handy for me for traveling, really light. So I've already primed my eyes using my MAC paint pot in the shade Soft Ochre, and then I've set that as well. So I'm going to start off with the shade Smoke, which is the darkest matte shade. So in this palette you get 1 matte shade and 2 sort of shimmers. So it's just like for a very quick, easy eye look. Wow, okay, so there's a lot of pigment on there. I just literally dabbed really lightly my brush in. So it was really pigmented, so I probably went in a bit heavy, but nevertheless, it's blended out really easy. I feel like Charlotte Tilbury, everything about like her brand is just like so classic. Like everything is really classic, natural beauty, and it's all about like accentuating your natural beauty as opposed to being sort of on trend or like really high fashion kind of looks. She definitely stays more in a sort of classic old Hollywood glamour bracket, I would say. Such a great transition shade. I feel like you could really build this up, or you could just kind of leave it quite subtle for like a daytime look. So again, perfect for sort of holiday and having to take minimal products but being able to achieve like lots of different looks. So next I'm going to go in with the middle shade, which is called Enhance, and there's not really any kick up happening with that, so I'm going to go in with that on a flat brush. Ooh. Okay. Not really having any issues with fallout on this shade. I'm just sort of really packing that onto the lid. Really nice sort of bronzy shade. And that is all I'm going to do with my eyes today. Just really quick and really easy because I only want to use what is in that palette. And now I'm going to give the mascara a little go. Look at that packaging. I've never tried a Charlotte Tilbury mascara before, so I'm pretty excited. This is the Legendary Lashes, because I think she has 2 different types of mascara, so this is the Legendary Lashes one. Huge brush, which kind of tells me that this is going to be volumizing. So that is one coat of that mascara. It kind of reminds me of the Too Faced Better Than Sex, so I'm hoping that it's not going to transfer on me like that one does, so I will keep you posted in the comments how I get on throughout the day. But that's one coat looking really good, and I'm going to do a couple more coats once this has set. So we'll move on to face. You out a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So I'm going to go in with the Light Wonder foundation. I chose the shade 6 medium online, so I'm hoping this is going to be a decent match. I've tried the Magic foundation in the shade 6, which was a kind of medium, like olivey shade, so I'm hoping this is going to match me nicely like that one did. Oh, it looks a lot thicker than I was expecting, because I think this is like quite a sort of light coverage foundation, so I was expecting it to be very runny, but oh, it smells beautiful. It is quite runny, it's moving on my hand. So let's get started. Beauty blender. I'd love to know if anyone knows what is the difference between the black beauty blender and the pink one, because this one I find so much better. I love it. Oh, I didn't use a primer. Bear with. Bear with. Oh, that is beautiful. Okay. Okay, Charlotte Tilbury, can you see how like luminous that is? Right, so I'm just going to go in quickly on the other side, which is good. That's what I meant to do. I meant to do a comparison. That's what I meant to do. So this is her luminizing primer. It's called the Wonder Glow Instant Soft Focus Beauty Flash, and it just comes in this like squeezy bottle. And it is lovely. It's really actually quite smoothing, which is my kind of holy grail of a primer, to find a primer that is not only luminous, as you can see how much of a glow this kind of gives you, but also really smoothing. And this is the only primer I've found that actually does both. So I take this right under those under eye areas, all down the sides of my nose, all those areas that you get like texture and fine lines, and it really smooths those, but at the same time it gives your skin this gorgeous luminosity to it. That is one of the better value kind of products of Charlotte Tilbury, because you get 40 mils for your money. It's a pretty good colour match for me, so I'm like around an NC30 at the moment. I have like an olivey undertone. So let's go in on the primed side now. And yeah, that is like even more glowy than the unprimed side. Just really gorgeous. Doesn't look greasy, just looks really glowy. Be interested to see how that dries down, because that is such a nice shade for me. I really find it hard to find olive shades that aren't really tan, because once we're in this like winter months, I am losing my tan, so I'm going more towards like by November I'll be like a solid NC25. So hard to find olive undertones in that kind of shade range. Quite a light, probably not quite reaching medium. I'd say it's like a light to medium coverage at best. Really natural on the skin. Really feel like my face is really nice and smooth. The prime side definitely does look a bit smoother and kind of more like plumped, if you will, compared to this side. And I also kind of feel like it's, yeah, so it is now starting to soak into my fine lines on my smile lines on this side, but not this side. So the primer's obviously kind of helped smooth those out. So it was the retoucher, and I got mine in the shade 3. I've just squeezed my little sample out onto my palette for ease. A really good amount in these samples as well. Okay. That is too dark. Too dark, you guys. Probably actually darker than my foundation. Okay, we'll go with it, Don't panic, you guys. Don't panic. It's actually got a good coverage on that. It's actually okay. Like once I set this with powder, it will be fine. We'll be fine. I've got some really nice coverage. It's nothing weird's happening so far. It's not creasing. And I don't have the Charlotte Tilbury powder, so I'm just going to set that concealer down with my RCMA. Okay, so now we're going to go on to contour, and I'm going to be using, of course, the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand, and I have mine in the shade Fair Medium. I have a whole review on this product. If you want to check it out, I will link it below. But the short version is, I think it is everything. It is amazing. I am absolutely obsessed with it, and I just want to shout out my 2 amazing subscribers who commented on that video explaining to me how to contour properly for my face shape, because I've never really liked contouring my jawline. I've just I can't really make it work for me. It's like never looks that great. It's like just looks muddy, and it just looks like I haven't matched my foundation very well. I just end up with this sort of darker line down there. It just doesn't really work for me. So anyway, my 2 amazing viewers who commented on my video by basically explaining for my face shape, I don't need to contour my jawline because I have like a long oval face shape. Like I don't need to be making my face look any longer, I guess, or narrower in that place, so that I basically don't need to be doing that. So thank you so much for your help, ladies. So I'm not even going to worry about that anymore or bother with it anymore. I'm just going to do my cheekbones like I've always done, and a little bit around my head to give me some definition, and my chin, because apparently that's all I need. So next in, I'm gonna go back to just quickly finish off my eyes. So I'm gonna take the Brighten shade just here, this sort of shimmery shade, and I'm gonna highlight my brow bone. Ooh, that is nice and sparkly. Really nice shade actually. It's almost a sort of taupey shade, not too like crazy, really popping. Also just gonna pop that on my inner corners. Wow, that is so pretty. Gonna go under my lower lash line with a tiny bit of that darker matte shade as well. Smudge that under there. I'm gonna go in with another coat of the mascara. That is some big lashes, guys. That is really nice. And I'm just gonna put a little on the lower lash line. I kind of have really big lower lashes, so I have to be careful. I usually use a like much less volumizing mascara down there, because I can quite easily and quickly get crazy. I'm not actually going to use the bronzer and highlight from the face palette that I've already showed you because I want to show you as many different products as possible. So I'm going to be using my Filmstar Bronze and Glow Kit, which is the first Charlotte Tilbury product I bought, and I feel like I might be hitting pan soon. I've used this pretty much every day, certainly 3 or 4 times a week since I got it. It is just everything. It is expensive, like £49, but oh yeah. But you do get 2 really good sized pans, bronzer and highlight, and this is a really nice cool toned bronzy shade that you can kind of almost contour with as well. Really natural, still very much in the vein of Charlotte Tilbury, just beautiful natural products. So you also get a really good sized mirror, again perfect for traveling. So I'm just going to sort of set that contour down and bronze up a bit. I will comment down below letting you know how all these products wore throughout the day and if I had any problems, and I'll definitely let you know how the foundation lasted and how it wore. It's just looking really nice and natural now. It's kind of dried down, lost some of its, that real sort of dewiness that it had going on, but it's still looking really natural, really light, really like skin. So now for the highlight, this is very much like a sort of, I say natural, it can definitely be built up to be pretty beaming, but it can also be used just like this to give you just some light, and it really doesn't add like texture or anything like that. Again, I feel like Charlotte Tilbury is a really good brand for like mature skin types of women with the first sort of signs of aging and fine lines, because all of her products are really targeting smoothing and not sort of accentuating texture. So if that is a concern, then this is definitely a brand to sort of check out. Yeah, so I always put it on my chin because it just does look like, it just hits you like light. It doesn't look shimmery or glittery, it's just like light and just really smooth, so you can get away with putting it in those places. Quickly gonna go back into the face palette and just pick up these blushes. Now, how these are supposed to work is that you are supposed to swish the deeper shades, so like swish along your cheekbone, and then pop the brighter shade just on your apples. So that's what I'm gonna do. They are small pans, but this is my Dose of Colours powder blush brush. I didn't have issues getting it in there, it was absolutely fine. So that's kind of the swish colour, so just blending that in with that highlight, really nice. Right up my street, that blush, because it's a kind of reddy brown colour, kind of reminds me of MAC's Make You Mine, which is a big fave of mine at the moment. So there's my swish, and then we'll go in with the pop. Pretty, really pretty. And again, it gives you a couple of options. Obviously you don't have to use both, you could use one or the other and you can mix them together, or you could do what I've just done, which is like the classic way that she intends you to use this palette. I'm gonna go in with some more mascara because I'm a 3-coat kind of girl. Really liking that mascara, really feel like it's definitely very similar to the Too Faced. Better than Sex, but I'm hoping, I have high hopes that this one is not going to play me like that one did. Okay, so last but not least, I have these 50 million lip samples, so I'm just going to choose. So I'm going to go with this one. This is in the shade B Perfect, as in, you know, the female dog perfect. I don't want to swear. Wow, I wasn't expecting to like that. Oh my days. And it's actually really easy to apply, so I kind of just like did the whole smooshing on there, and then I've just used my finger to scrape the excess off and fill in any gaps. So this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed it. I will of course list all my products down below in the description bar. My kind of final thoughts are, you know, I love the primer. I think it's so flattering, pretty, smoothing, everything that I would want a primer to be. Gives you a gorgeous glow to the skin. I really like the foundation for a more natural, glowing foundation. That is kind of a really good shade match for me. I think there's very few shades in that foundation, so that is the challenge with that one. I think this face palette is amazing. Yes, it is expensive, but you do get literally everything that you need in there. Really gorgeous quality shadows, bronzer, highlight, 2 blushes. I feel like it's amazing for travel. Really nice solid plastic packaging with a really good sized mirror. I feel like I'm just going to take that everywhere with me. Already know how I feel about this. I think it's one of my favorite high-end makeup purchases ever. Already know how I feel about this. Absolutely love it. My favorite contour product ever. So easy, so gorgeous, so natural. I am obsessed with it. Really impressed with the lipstick. Wasn't expecting to like it. I just kind of picked one that I thought was like kind of different to what I would normally put on, and actually really love it. Really comfortable, really moisturizing on the lips, and looks really hydrating and smooth. I'm not a huge fan of the concealer. I know the fact that I picked the wrong color has not helped me really with that, but I do feel like my MAC Pro Longwear is less sort of creasy than this, or not creasy, but like I feel like my fine lines are a bit emphasized, and it's not full coverage as much as I want it. You can kind of just about see my dark circles under there, so that's a slight, that's probably not going to beat out my favorite concealers right now. Mascara I'm really liking. Feel like my lashes are huge. I did do 3 coats, which is like standard for me, but really liking it so far. Really voluminous, really voluminous, really liking how that's looking. This is kind of how the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara went on, and I really loved it, but then it started to smudge and go all over my face, so we'll see how I get on with this throughout the day. So that is it. Of course, I'm obsessed with this brand. It is like fast becoming my ultimate all-time favorite makeup brand, my high-end brand. It is very expensive, very luxurious, very high-end, and these are some of like the best products that she has. So I know that there are also some misses in there as well. I feel like especially sort of more mature skins will really love the products, because I feel like she is very focused on smoothing and sort of filling and pore refining and all those things that can be more problematic as you start to age with your skin and everything. But I just feel like everything is so beautiful, so luxurious, so worth the money for me. It's like a real save up, splurge, or you know, put it on your Christmas list type of brand, because it is so expensive, but it is just beautiful. I love all of it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe before you go so I can see you again. I'd love to know if you've tried anything from this brand and how you got on with it, and if you liked it, or if you don't think it's worth the high price point, then please let me know down below. Otherwise, I hope to see you again in a future video. Bye bye for now.